Hi everyone. Wow, I can't believe how many of you have showed so much support and love in regards to how my son had been treated by the North Bay Hospital. And I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for caring. Thank you for sharing your own experiences. It's really sad to really see how much this is happening all over Canada, right? So we need to start talking about this because I'm not waiting until my son's gone. That's what happens is we wait until something really serious or bad happens, and it's like, no, because that could have happened to my son. And so I wanted to answer a few questions. Is one of the questions was, how did I know that my son had 3 times the amount of Ativan that he was supposed to get? And it's because the initial doctor, the emergency doctor, came back and seen my son. I guess it was her next shift, and she checked on him and said that statement to the girlfriend in the room that he had 3 times the amount. And the other indication was that my son was out for 10 hours because of the Ativan. 10 hours. He was knocked out cold. His breathing was so shallow that he had a oxygen nose tube through his nose, and just really really scary. I'm not there. That's the other thing, is that I'm all the way in British Columbia right now, raising awareness on missing and murdered Indigenous people. So not being there is really really hard. But I don't know the doctor's name. I tried calling. They said that I needed to fill out all these forms and things like that. They don't just give it, which is sad. But I'm not going to give it up. We're not going to stop, because this isn't just about this time. My son has epilepsy and goes to that hospital almost every month for the last year because we're not able to get his seizures under control. He doesn't drink. They know him there. Like, most of the doctors know him there. He's never had this doctor before. And it's really sad that he was treated this way. And it's scary because I don't want to lose my son, over something so ignorant. And a lot of people even said, give him a blood test, see if he's drinking or the drugs or anything like that, right? Like, instead of being so invasive and so disrespectful. But it also, I wanted to mention that I know this is not just happening to Indigenous people, because that was also some of the comments. I know this is happening to all people in Canada, but it happens way more to Indigenous people. So if we uplift the Indigenous people, well, guess what? We all rise. We all benefit from the new policies and laws, right? So that's why we need to start speaking up and standing together and stop putting divisions between us. I was just speaking truth. That's what I was giving, right? A perspective that as a non-Indigenous person you might not see. The other thing that I want to talk about is how, I was very naive at one point in my life. I'll never forget the first time, it was with my missing sister's case. The first time I realized that a minority could be racist. I thought, they're like us. How could they be racist? I was very naive then. And, that's when I realized, there's always someone trying to make someone at the bottom. There's always going to be a hierarchy. There's always going to be someone that wants to be better and treated better. And this is how they do this. So we really need to start coming together and talking more about the things that are happening and making that change. Where is the accountability? How does a doctor get away with something like this? This isn't right. So thank you so much. And I promise you, I'm going to keep you updated all the time. So if you don't hear anything, it's not because I'm not sharing with you. Even if it's not in my benefit, I will make sure I share with you. So thank you so much for sharing all your love, your experiences, your truth. And remember, we're all fighting together for the same thing: basic human rights. No more stolen.